lot of men think boundaries are something you say. They're not. A boundary is something you do. Because the truth is simple. If you keep warning someone, you're not setting a boundary. You're training them to ignore you. Most men don't lose respect because they're weak. They lose respect because they talk too much. They explain. They negotiate. They threaten. They communicate. They give second chances like it's charity. And the woman learns something dangerous. He doesn't mean what he says. So she keeps pushing, not always consciously, not always malicious, but she pushes because she can. And when you finally explode, now you look unstable, emotional, and reactive. That's how it happens. You tolerate disrespect in silence. Then you try to fix it with emotion. Calm men don't do that. Calm men have a rule. One warning, then action. No speeches, no lectures. No, we need to talk. One warning that's clean and unemotional. Then you move exactly how you said you would. And that's why their relationships feel different. Not perfect, not drama-free, but stable. Because people don't respect what you say. They respect what happens when you say it. In this video, I'm going to give you a system you can apply to late replies, disrespect and attitude, mixed signals, tests, manipulation and crossing lines, I'll see and maybe behavior, and that slow drip of disrespect that kills attraction over time. And I'm going to show you how calm men handle it without begging, without being cruel, and without turning it into a war. Because the goal of boundaries isn't control. The goal is clarity. Now let's break it down. 1. Why repeated warnings destroy respect. Here's the mistake most men make. A woman does something they don't like. She flakes. She disrespects. She talks to them crazy. She goes cold and acts like he's lucky she's even replying. And he responds like a manager holding a meeting. He explains why it's wrong. He explains how it makes him feel. He explains what he expects. He explains what should happen next. Then she does it again. And he explains again, louder this time. Then she does it again. Then he gets angry. But do you see what happened? Every time you warn without consequences, you teach her, I can do this and nothing happens. And humans do what they're allowed to do. It's not about women. It's about behavior. If your boundary is don't be disrespectful, but she's disrespectful 3 times and you stay, then your real boundary is be disrespectful. I'll complain. Then I'll stay. You train that, not with words, with tolerance. And tolerance without action is permission. This is why calm men don't argue about respect. They don't try to convince someone to treat them right. They just adjust access. They let life teach the lesson. 2. The difference between a boundary and a punishment. This is important. A boundary is not revenge. It's not, I'm going to ignore her to teach her. That's childish. A boundary is, if this happens, I do this. It's predictable. It's clean. It's about your standards, not her emotions. Punishment says, you hurt me, now I hurt you. A boundary says, this doesn't work for me, so I step back. That difference matters because women can feel it. A woman can sense when a man is acting out of anger. And anger is still emotional dependence. Calm boundaries come from self-respect. You're not mad. You're not pleading. You're not trying to win. You're simply unavailable to low standards. That's strength. 3. The calm man's rule. 1 warning, then action. Here's the rule. You give 1 warning. It's short. It's direct. It's calm. It doesn't beg. And then, if it happens again, you act. No second warning. No, this is the last time. No, please understand. You already warned her. And your word has to mean something. If you don't act, your word becomes noise. So the structure is warning, clear line, plus calm consequence, action, immediate follow through. Let me give you examples. 4. Script examples, late replies, inconsistent communication. Let's start with late replies. Now listen, not every late reply is disrespect. People have lives, but if you notice a pattern of her responding, like she's doing you a favor, and it's consistent, that's when you apply standards. One warning: hey, if you're interested, be consistent. If you're not, no stress. That's it. No anger. Then you step back. You stop initiating. You stop chasing. If she keeps the same pattern, that's where action happens. You remove access. You disappear. You move on. Because your attention is a reward, not a charity. 5. Script examples: flaking and wasting your time. Flaking is one of the biggest respect killers because when a woman cancels last minute and you accept it repeatedly, she learns your time is flexible, disposable. Calm men don't do emotional talks about time. They do structure. One warning: if you cancel last minute again, I'll just make plans with people who follow through. That's clean. If she flakes again, you don't argue. You don't ask why. You simply stop offering plans. And if she hits you up later, you respond like a calm man. No worries. I'm busy. Maybe another time. She'll feel the shift immediately because consequences speak a language women understand. 6. Script examples: disrespect, attitude, talking crazy. This is where most men fail because they either tolerate too much or explode. Calm men do neither. If she speaks to you with disrespect, sarcasm, contempt, trying to sun you, trying to emasculate you, the warning is immediate, calm, and short. One warning: don't talk to me like that. Or, I'm not doing disrespect. That's it. No lecture. If she does it again, action. Action means you end the interaction. You hang up. You leave. You stop replying, not to punish, to protect your self respect. Because every time you accept disrespect, your nervous system learns that you deserve it. Calm men don't train themselves to accept low treatment. They correct it once, then they move. 7. Mixed signals and maybe. Energy. A woman who likes you makes things easy enough. Not perfect, not obsessive, but not confusing. Mixed signals are often a way to keep you in limbo. Close enough to give her attention, far enough to avoid commitment. This is where men start negotiating. Calm men don't. One warning: I don't do confusion. If you want to see me, cool. If not, all good. Then you stop investing because you cannot build attraction from uncertainty. You build it from direction. If she keeps giving maybe, she's not a maybe, she's a no. And calm men treat maybe like a no. 8. The action step: remove access, reduce effort, keep moving. This is the key. When people hear action, they think anger. No, action is quiet. Action is you stop initiating. You stop rewarding bad behavior. You reduce access to, you stop offering boyfriend energy to someone acting like a stranger. You redirect your time into your life. This is how calm men win. Not by controlling her, by controlling themselves. You don't need to explain why you're pulling back. Your warning already explained it. If you explain again, you weaken the consequence. Because now it's a conversation. Now it's negotiable. Calm men don't negotiate their standards. 9. What if she comes correct again? This is where most men fold. She disrespects. You pull back. Then she returns sweet. And you reward it with emotional overflow. You start over texting. You overinvest. You forgive by becoming a servant again. And she learns. All I have to do is reset him with sweetness, and he's back under control. Calm men don't do that. If she returns respectfully, you accept it, but you stay consistent. You don't punish, but you also don't over-reward. You let her earn full access again through consistency. A calm man's forgiveness is slow and stable, not emotional and desperate. 10. The hard truth: boundaries reveal who belongs. Here's what men need to understand: boundaries don't destroy good women, they repel the wrong ones. A woman who respects you will adjust. A woman who benefits from your lack of standards will fight you. She'll call you controlling. She'll say you're insecure. She'll say you're too sensitive. She'll try to shame you back into tolerance. That's how you know you're doing it right. Because shame is the weapon used against men who finally choose self-respect. A calm man doesn't argue with shame. He watches behavior. If she respects the boundary, she stays. If she fights it, she leaves. Either way, you win. Because you don't lose women by having standards, you lose women by having none. 11. The calm man's boundary framework, simple system. Here's the system you should live by. 1. Identify the behavior, not the emotion, not the drama, the behavior. 2. State the standard once short, calm, direct. 3. Attach a consequence, not a threat, a personal action you control. 4. Follow through immediately, no delays, no second warning. 5. Stay consistent. Consistency is what creates respect. That's it. Men complicate this because they're afraid of losing her. But if you're afraid to lose a woman who disrespects you, you've already lost, because your fear becomes her leverage. 12. Ending. Why this changes everything. When you adopt one warning, then action, your entire life changes. You stop being the man who explains himself to people committed to misunderstanding. You stop being the man who stays loyal to disrespect. You stop being the man who tolerates what drains him. And you become the man whose presence is valuable because your attention has standards. Women feel that. Not because you're mean, because you're solid, you're calm, you're clear. And the truth is, most women don't want a man they can control. They want a man they can respect. But respect isn't begged for. It's enforced through standards. One warning, then action.